So I don't think we can see it too well, but we can kind of hear it. You can see that there's a bit of cloud there, but there's too much, what do you call it, tree here. But in the next yard over, AT&T is digging in a new fiber. Oh, here, we can see it. We can see the dust being kind of kicked up, right? So, of course, AT&T is digging new fiber lines. Now, I don't even have AT&T, right? And, I mean, I guess it's nice to have as an option, you know, that you have another, you know, high-speed internet thing as an option here. But because it's one of these public utility things, they can just go in people's backyards and start digging, you know, to prepare for a hookup in case you want to buy it later on, right? And it's like, okay, fine, I get that. But it's like, again, one more fucking thing where it's like a jackhammer or something. It's like, I'm so glad I don't have anything worth calling work or anything, and I can just do whatever little I have to do whenever, because if I had to, you know, actually take a phone call now, or it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Unlike the other fiber optic company that came through and did stuff in the front yards, you know, they left a nice little tag on the door and said, hey, we'll be coming by here, and we're gonna... These people came by last week. They just randomly kicked in the gate, you know, just started marking everything with their paint, with their spray paint. That's what they're digging out now. And it's like, oh, just do whatever you want, whenever. Just, you know, show up unannounced and start, you know, just marking stuff in the backyard. Okay. Right, and then jackhammering whenever you want. Just, you know, whatever. So there isn't even like a 24-hour notice of, we're going to be jackhammering tomorrow in this area. Or here's a little, no, just whatever, you know, whatever. You know, it's just so, but anyways, so that's just the usual, and it is just obnoxious. Like, how is it not possible that a massive multi-billion-dollar company can just coordinate and say, hey, so here's the times we're going to be doing this here, or here? Because they were here last week, and then they marked stuff. They seem to be working pretty slower. I don't know what the issue is, because they marked this last week, right? And I was hearing some stuff over there, so I don't know. But you would expect, you know, in a civilized world that a multi-billion-dollar company has the resources and know-how to coordinate this, you know, and give you estimates of where things are, what, right? Because, you know, on the rare event that you live inside your own home and these houses are not just empty 24/7 or during the daylight hours, I guess, you know, that some people might be at home. You know, I remember there was the Woodlands had some survey out from, when was it? It was like a couple years ago. It was like their biannual survey. And the question was, how many people work from home, right? And it's, of course, even under COVID, it just kept going up. And I think it was like half the people have some work from home thing. You know, it's like, okay, so half the people have some work from home thing. I don't know, can we? No, we can't coordinate anything on that because go fuck yourself, right? But anyways, I think it's a good time to go for my weekly new sprinting and go take a forest walk. But again, it's just unbelievable, you know. How hard is it to just coordinate and write down, hey, this is when we're going to be here, right? And we don't do this stuff where we just start randomly making noise. When, again, this is not an emergency. It's like a tree fell on a house. This is schedulable stuff that you could pre-announce, and it's starting back up. Because I was going to go sunbathing today, because, right, and then people were just randomly in the yard right before I was going to go out there in the nude, right? So you can't do that. They also left. They started digging a little bit of the trench here, and then they just left. Did they say when they're... No, just whenever. And then now that they're back in the other yard, they're or what do you call? They're doing this. All right. In fact, let's go outside. I don't know how much of the phone is actually picking up, because it is kind of a background noise, and it does tend to censor itself out that way. But let's go back here and see what hellish noise we're dealing with today, right? I think it's a generator as well, even when they're not running the actual machine. Oh, perfect. Look at that. So that is in my yard. And let's see here. So I'm glad they didn't destroy this thing. You know, it's getting colder overnight. I might actually start doing fires out here, you know, some campfires. But this is basically it. So it's over there, over here, and it probably, there's a little box, let's see, somewhere over here. There we go. And they have a flag there as well. Right? Which is, again, I'm perfectly fine with it, right? Like, okay, fine, go dig in my yard, fine, fine, fine. But tell me when it's happening, right? Well, that looks scary, actually. It's hissing at me. Anyways, we'll go back inside, right? Like, am I the unreasonable person? Hey, if you're going to be doing this, I don't know, give a heads up, try to narrow it down and say it's going to be the loudest on this day. We're going to be working on this street, and anybody with an earshot, you'll get an extra tag. Or maybe you could sign up for this, right, on a phone. It's AT&T, right? It's AT&T. They should know how to text people because it's a fucking phone company. But no. Anyways. I can't even take a dump, okay? I can't even take a dump quietly, you know? Because again, they could say, you know, we're going to be using jackhammers here. Here's what we're doing. So, you know, because if people tell me ahead of time, it's like, you know what, let me plan a trip. I would probably want to go a little later, you know, because it's still a little too hot to be hiking all day. But you know what, I'd prefer to be hiking in suboptimal weather when it's still a little too hot than to be stuck here at home and now it's too late to go, right? It's like 2 p.m., the traffic's correct. So it's just so obnoxious that just announce to everybody what you already know you're going to be doing, AT&T, right? This is not complicated. Thank you, AT&T. I can't even crap now. I'm just too frustrated to take a shit, you know? All right, so it's about a 1:13. I'm not even going to screenshot that. It's 1:13. It's okay. It felt pretty good. But when I was walking here, I found somebody's keys and it has their number on it. Let me text that and leave it in some more public place. Let's not drop it in there. Yeah. Okay, so that's basically, I found somebody's keys. That's pretty cool. Anyways, that's it for now. All right, so another thing I'm annoyed about today, we're probably going to be just recording throughout the day. It's going to be one of those things. So there was a guy, I think he's part of the rowing club, because he had that shirt on, and there was a rowing club truck in the parking lot out by the lake. And this guy had a Doberman unleashed. Now there's signs in the parking lot, which I'm sure we're going to get to on our way back here. Leash the dogs. I'm going to start counting this from now on. How many dogs do I see out here when I come out to the forest that are not leashed? There were some picnickers over there. They had a cat outside. The cat was leashed, okay? But the Doberman was not. That was following the rowing guy on the bicycle. So it's 1 unleashed, 0 leashed. I'm going to be keeping track of this from now on as well, because that's another annoying thing. You know, is there are laws in Montgomery County on this, and there's signs everywhere. It's important, you know, because these dogs can go off, and then, you know, anyways. But It's just, yeah, just let them run loose. It's all yours. Okay, all right. You know, I mean, you know, if you like have them by your side or something, right? But you're on a bicycle, right? They're not near you. You know, I can't even. Anyways, yeah, that's it for now. All right, so just got back right in time for Let's See It. Of course, you know. Well, not that, but right, close enough. AT&T's leaving, but that's what we're hearing right there. So, you know, I thought, hey, let's have some steaks out here. I'm kind of hungry. I just ran for us, right? Of course, it's insanity. Oh, we can see it. Ah, we can see the back. We can see that is what it is right there. So that's where we're at. So I don't know. The usual. I don't even know why I'm pissed off about this. Like, this is what it is all the time, right? So people coming in and out of my yard. I can't sunbathe out there, you know. You know, if it's not the dog shit smell from next door, you know, the people who you can, again, that's why I use the curtains in the kitchen, because it's not the sun, it's that I don't want to look at piles of dog shit. It's disgusting, right? But you can now smell that, you know, so you can't go near the fence, and then, you know, it's some bullshit every day. So, but why am I, it's the same thing, you know, what's so frustrating about it? It's the same thing. It's always the same fucking thing. So anyways, we'll make do with this and whatever, so. All right, so here's how we do 1.5 dozen eggs, 18 eggs now. There is a little basket, a steamer basket for something else, and it's easy to just dunk it in there. And that's it.